Joining us right now on the phone is former Boston Police Chief Ed Davis. Also here with us is former New York City homicide detective Bo Dietl. Ed, to you first, your take on this horrific shooting.
Good morning, Maria. Well, this is a game changer. Police now are going to have to worry about force protection, go into a more military mode now when handling any of these demonstrations. I think it's at a time when we're trying to get closer to the community. This throws a wedge in between the police and the community we're trying to serve.
Yeah, we've been talking about that this morning. Certainly it all began with the Ferguson effect where police were pulling back. And now you're saying going into military mode. What does that look like, Ed, in terms of the police changing their tactics?
Well, you know, having SWAT assets supporting demonstrations now, you know, we're there to protect the First Amendment rights of the people that are trying to get their point across. But now we have to be forward-looking to make sure that the officers, who in the past have been engaged in, you know, minor disturbances or making sure traffic is handled properly around these events, now we have to be cognizant of the fact that there could be a threat beyond that. And the fact that Dallas didn't have a specific incident that occurred recently, that this happened, you know, after a couple of incidents that happened in different places, makes everybody in the country nervous now.
Bo Dietl, how do you see it?
Well, first of all, my heart and soul goes out to those officers and their families. One guy was married 2 weeks, and he was killed there. This just brings back memories. I was on the police department in the early 70s when we had the Black Liberation Army. They killed 13 cops one year, and they killed 11 cops the next year, and they were assassinations, just what we saw. When that guy was firing with that cop, and he walks over, and he pumps 3 into that cop, and he was laying on the ground.
This is assassination. Shot him in his back.
And I'll guarantee you there was 4 people at least involved with this, because you had rapid fire from the rooftop from different places.
Two snipers.
He's walking around, and this was pre-planned. And if you watched his tactics, he was very well versed in military procedure. Also, when you get a president, he's leaving for NATO, and all of a sudden, before these incidents, the 2 incidents, hey, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, these incidents look good. Let them investigate them before you judge, like you judge Ferguson, like you judge everything. I have never seen this country so divided since the 1960s, and this president's responsible. It's the leadership on the top. And I'm real upset and I'm real angry about those officers, because you notice those officers weren't running away. They were running in. Yeah. And those officers were gunned down and they were assassinated. And let's not take off the board terrorism for the fact that this would be a great opportunity for ISIS to start a civil war in America, right, and use that as a catalyst and use it as the cops against the black community. Yeah. Hey, America is not black, white, or Muslim. America is one. We're all together. And this president divided us. We got to bring ourselves together. And people got to understand, just imagine if the cops went around for 2 days. Anarchy around, people would be robbed, people being shot. Yeah. Let's stop the nonsense. Let's bring it together. And it starts from the top. We need a leader in there to bring us together. You got that Blue Shield there, that T-Bone Pickens' wife's involved, bringing the cops into the community. There are programs. We must do this. We got to bring it together.
And yes, that's not what we heard.
Horrible.
It's not what we heard from President Obama in Warsaw this morning. He talked about gun control.
And Donald Trump, when he tweeted out his message, it was measured. It was not politicized. That's the kind of message you need from a leader.
Well, you know, again, I was hearing this in the late 60s, early 70s. I saw the division in this country. I've never seen it so bad, and it starts with that leadership. And you know what?
How did you fix it in New York? How did it get fixed?
People don't understand one thing also. There are millions of compact interactions. There are millions of interactions with the police and people over this country. Did you know 5 Caucasians were killed by cops last week? Well, you don't hear about it. When you hear a black shooting, all of a sudden it's got to be emphasized. It's got to be highlighted. I don't know what the facts were behind those things. I didn't like the way the shootings looked myself. I didn't ever kill anybody, but I'm not going to justify or judge someone until I know all the facts.
Davis, as it relates to the fact, you led the Boston Police Department during the Boston Marathon massacre. What can you take away from this incident in terms of motivation?
Well, that's an interesting question, Maria. You know, we caution people to take their time and to think about, wait until the facts come out. And there have been no public statements on motivation here. But I suspect that Chief Brown, who I know and have great respect for, if this was anything but what the speculation is, they would have been out clarifying that by now. So I think that it is what it is, and you know, tragically, we have to deal with this new reality, and police are going to be on edge now for some time after an incident like this.
Ed Davis, thank you. Bo Dietl, thank you.